gotta do it again.
You think your teammates are kind of the same mentality? You sense that?
Absolutely. All the guys on the whole team want to win, whether you're in the lineup or not. So
I've noticed recently, you become more of a vocal leader. I know recently, you looked at your teammates and told them, "Hey guys, come on, follow me, right? I want some more titles here." What point of your career did you start becoming more of a vocal leader?
I still wouldn't say that I'm really a vocal leader. I say very few words to a lot of the guys like that. I'll help anyone with anything, but when it comes to like speaking out, I think I've only done that a couple times, but I feel like the times I've done it, I've been in times where the public have seen, so it seems like I may be more of a vocal leader, but I'm always a guy who's been trying to lead by example, and I hope that everyone just hope they all work harder than me, and that's kind of where they come in. It's like, hope you guys are doing what you got to do, and I'm not gonna go out of my way, I guess, to say anything stupid, I guess, but to me, it's just. I wouldn't say I'm a vocal leader, though. It's kind of hard for me to talk about because I wish I was more of a vocal leader, but I'm so focused on myself, it's hard. But I would love to help my team out as much as I can. So,
What excites you about this season?
fans, Carver. I think it was hard coming into Carver and not really being nervous as much as usual because it's a little different when you're running and people are cheering and they're loud and you definitely get nervous. I mean, I remember my first time in Carver, how nervous I was. But if there was no fans, I don't know how nervous I would have really been. So it's just different. You walk in and you see your parents, your family, the ones that were allowed to be there, and they're obviously cheering loud. But it's different when there's 200 people versus 15,000. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And looking forward to some of the guys on our team that haven't had that experience, like Ironman and anyone else who's going to be doing the lineup. They haven't had that experience. They've been hearing about it. We've been talking about it, but now they get to finally feel that.
You get nervous at the NCAA championships?
Do I get nervous at the end? I get nervous every match.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on. It's not, nerves aren't a bad thing. You can use nerves in a good way. As long as you're not freaking out, I think nerves are always good because it means that you care and that you want to be the best you can be when you go out there. And I always get nervous because I want to put my best foot forward every single time out, and that's just how you got to be. So.
Have those nerves gotten better?
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah,
to be honest.
They've always been there like that. You think?
Well, I think no matter what, like I said, I want to put my best foot forward, so I want to make sure that I'm ready to go. And the thoughts that go into your head are, for me, it's like hard, smart, wrestle, hard, that kind of thing. And I don't care how good you might think you are. That guy's on the other end. As soon as they blow that whistle, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It's a new match, a new face, new person, and no matter what, you got to put your best foot forward. So for me, it was nerves. The nerves don't change, but it's making me smile still. That I still, no matter how good you think you are, you're always gonna be nervous. I think, for me personally, at least.
Do you have any non-conference opponents that stand out? Any tournament opponents you're looking forward to?
Can I say them all? All. Because they're, like I said, once you blow that whistle and that handshake, it doesn't matter who they are, what their rank, what their name is, what their accolades are. All that matters is what happens in between that circle, in between that 7 minutes and more if needed. So for me, I don't really think of any single opponent because I think they're all important because every single match is like the next, like the World Championship is the next big one. So next thing.
Wrestling's college wrestling especially, such an individual thing. So many guys are getting hyped. How do you, not pay attention to the big name across the map?
I mean, you just can't because at some point, all that matters is yourself. I mean, the most important person to compete against is yourself. And as long as you're trying to be the better version of yourself every single day out, it's the same thing on the mat. You're just trying to improve your position, try to improve, how you feel, how if you're worrying about your opponent, then I feel like that's just something you shouldn't really be doing because then I think you're wrestling towards their level and you should be wrestling to your level. So.
How's your health, Spencer?
I'm as healthy as could be. Do I look like I'm not healthy?
You look good to me.
Awesome.
How frustrating was it that you didn't get to do this summer what you kind of wanted to do?
Well, I mean, you got dreams and goals, and when dreams and goals get ripped away from you, what are you supposed to do? Lay down? I mean, this is what's next, and what's next is the season and being the best I can be for the Iowa Hawkeyes. So you got to move on, and you got to giddy up pretty quick. So.
Spencer, how has NIL affected you? Positive, negative,
I think that it was just a cool experience to go through, and I think the most important thing is to not really focus on it. As soon as this month comes up, I don't really want to do anything NIL at all. I want to make sure that I shouldn't be. My focus is always gonna be wrestling. It's always gonna be winning wrestling matches, and it's always gonna be the best person that I can be. And making money isn't really like my most important factor in life. For me, it's achieving my goals, and if you achieve your goals, and I've always heard that money comes towards your way. So don't really have to worry about that too much if you're focused on what you want to focus on, which is winning.
About the experience of being on Bussin' with the Boys.
I think it was cool. Yeah, I think it was really cool. Well, I don't know if I ever would have got on that. I mean, my agent, he's the one that knows those guys, so it was pretty cool. And Barstool and stuff. I was with Dave Portnoy, talking with him, making his shirt, stuff like that. Just like experiences like that I may never have gotten because of NIL. So it was pretty cool. Definitely different.
You talked about like when you got the Regis deal, like expanding the growth of wrestling. That's got to be part of it, right?
Well, that's my goal. That's my goal. That's their goal. Our goals aligned, and it made sense for me to go with them just because of that. So, I'm not trying to make it like an ad over here, but for me, it was awesome just going through that experience. And then, my ultimate goal is to grow the sport. Women's wrestling coming to Iowa is something that I was super excited about. And just because of that reason, it's going to grow the sport. You leave out 50% of the population in a sport that wants to grow. I think that's an issue. So I'm glad that it's happening.
Spencer, we haven't seen the Ivy League and its competitors for a year. We open up with Princeton, a big matchup with Glory possibly. How focused are you on that opener?
I'm focused on just getting better every day. That's the real focus. And when that match comes, I'll be ready to go, just like it would be any other match. It doesn't matter who it is, like I said earlier. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. He's obviously a great opponent, and just like every opponent is going to be this year. Like I said, the most important match to me is the next one. So, if that's the next one, then that's the most important match in the world. Just kind of how you got to think about it. Every season's a big season. Every match is a big match. At this level, especially when, you think you got a target on your back, like everyone should think they have a target on their back and move out there and do the best that you can. So.
Talking to some of the other guys, sounds like you're a pretty good recruiter.
Am I?
Yeah. It sounds like you were a big part of why they came back.
Really? Well, I'm glad that my teammates still wanted to compete with me and come back. I just feel like I knew that this was a special team, and I didn't want anyone to leave out or regret anything. So I didn't really tell them they had to come back or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure they knew that I would love to have them back and to be a part of something that could never be done again, hopefully. And that's kind of what our goal is to be the best team ever. And that's your goal. Your goal should be that every year, by the way. But that's just kind of how, so I'm glad that they came back, and like Ironman and Kemmer and those guys. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those, they're my brothers, and I'd be sad a year without them. So.
What do you see when you looking at that poster and everything? What's that mean to you?
Well, I think it's pretty cool that there's 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
Never had that before while being a Hawkeye here. So it just shows our team's growing, or we're improving on our years every single year, and that's the goal, is to improve every year and make sure that there's 10 guys on that board next year that say national champ. So
Has the order of your favorite Pokemon changed at all?